Hey everyone, it's James Lambert, the motivational coach and speaker. I went from knockouts to knowledge and from headlocks to hugs. I still embrace people, just now in a more positive way. In this video, I wanted to share a little bit of writing. I actually did this many years ago and I haven't actually released it in the form of an ebook yet. And I entitled it Spiritual Shadowboxing, the Philosophy and Principles of Spiritual Shadowboxing. And this was sort of a training program that towards the end of my fighting days and boxing career, it was how I sought to find balance. So it sat well with me. So I began to see Western boxing as more than the sum total of its parts, and I wanted it to be seen and considered in the same way great martial artists consider their art form. And I wanted people to approach it with the same intention as they do Tai Chi. So I realised for me that it became more than just striking someone else. It became a means of self-improvement and personal development. And I want to share what I've called round 5 from this book. And I've written, life, like life itself, a fight is unpredictable. It does not always go to plan. This can prepare us to be flexible in both our thoughts and actions. As a fighter must adapt to any given situation in the ring, particularly if he wants to win, as we typically see it, we must adapt in our personal and working lives to be at our best. Although a referee is present to ensure fair play in the ring, I believe that ultimately the decision or outcome of the fight is in the fighter's very own hands. For if the fighter secures a knockout, there is no need for a referee or judges to score the fight. And I believe we all hold our own decisions and outcomes of our lives in our own hands as well. When we step up and take responsibility, like a fighter does in answering the call of the bell to signal another round, great things begin to happen. We become creators, which is what we are, free to choose, act and think as we wish. People who act and are no longer acted upon, victors, not victims. So that was round 5 of my book, my writing, which I called Spiritual Shadowboxing. And shadowboxing, which as those of you that are familiar with boxing may know, it's where typically you stand in front of a mirror and you go through the different movements, and so you can see on your own body where you would be striking, so you're not just blindly flailing away, you are aiming for the chin or for the body and so on. And for me that it became very synonymous, because it was like how I acted, my movements were reflected directly back to me in the mirror. And then I sort of, for the first time one year, while I was doing that, it struck me that I'd sort of been trying to, if you like, alter the reflection in the mirror in my life. That was by trying to change others' opinions and this and blaming the government and everyone else and not working on myself. And of course it was futile, because what I was doing, literally through the shadowboxing, was being mirrored back to me in my reflection. And it was like a bit of a epiphany, if you like, almost enlightened. I realised that I was the cause of everything, the alpha and omega. So I had to stop blaming everyone else and I had to get myself right. And for me, boxing and fighting was a path to enlightenment, because before I could get my mind right, looking after the temple that houses my consciousness, that was a way for me to become more enlightened. For me, training, once I'd got into peak physical fitness, what then interested me more was how to tame my anger, which I still had trouble controlling, and my thoughts on life, and being more kind with myself and others. And so this is why I do realise that training, hard physical training, has a place. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see, I might actually get round to releasing this as an ebook. But as always, you are unstoppable, and I believe in you.